A very good morning, children. Myself, Mrs. Dipari. Today we start your next chapter, that is fourth chapter of history, Maharashtra before the times of Shivaji Maharaj. So first we'll start with the introduction. See, children, at the beginning of the 17th century, most of the territory in Maharashtra was under the control of Nizam Shah of Ahmednagar and Adil Shah of Bijapur. The Mughals had entered Khandesh. Their objective was to expand their power in the south. There were settlement of Siddhi people who had come from Africa along the coastline of Konkan. The competition and conflict among the Portuguese, the British, French, and Dutch who had come from Europe was getting intense during this period. There was stiff competition amongst them to capture the market for trade. The Portuguese had already established their rule in Goa and Vasai on the western coastline. The British, the Dutch, and the French had found an entry through the medium of trading companies by setting up factories. All these powers assessed the strength of other powers, kept themselves safe, and tried to dominate as much as possible. This conflict had created instability and insecurity in Maharashtra. These different people from Europe were called Topkar on the basis of their customary headgear. It is necessary to get acquainted with the village, Kasbah, and Pargana to understand the nature of settlements in that period, as also of the officers that formed a link between the rulers and their subject, and also the markets and the craftsmen. Pargana was made up of many villages. Generally, the headquarters of Pargana was called as Kasbah. A village smaller than a Kasbah was called Mauja. Let us get acquainted in brief with village, Kasbah, Pargana respectively. So first point is village, that is Mauja. Most of the people live in villages. A village was also called Mauja. The chief of the village was the Patil. He used to try to bring maximum land under the cultivation. When there was any dispute in the village, the Patil resolved it peacefully. A Kulkarni helped the Patil in his work. The Kulkarni kept the record of all the revenue that was collected. There were various artisans in the village. They had hereditary rights regarding their occupation, just like if anybody have their business of jewelsmith, blacksmith, so their next generation will also do the same business. They will expand the same business. This is called hereditary business. The peasants gave a share of their agriculture produce to the artisans for their service, which they rendered to the village community. This share was known as the baluta. Next point, Kasbah. See, a Kasbah was like a big village area. It is usually the headquarters of Pargana. Example, Indapur Kasbah, Indapur Pargana, Vai Kasbah, Vai Pargana were the headquarters of those Parganas. Agriculture was the main occupation. There were skilled artisans like carpenter, blacksmith, etc. in Kasbah. There was usually a market. They call it as a pet adjacent to a Kasbah. The Shete and Mahajar were the Watandars of this pet. Every village did not necessarily have a pet. The setting up of a pet was the job of the Shetis and Mahajan. For that, they received some land from the government and some rights from the villagers. The Mahajan maintained the accounts of these pets. Now next, Pargana. See, many villages together made a Pargana, but the number of villages was not the same in all Parganas. For example, the Pune Pargana was a big Pargana. It consists 290 villages. There were 64 villages in a Chakan Pargana. Shirvoi Pargana was very small, only 40 villages considered into that. The Deshmukh and Deshpande were the Watandars in this Pargana system. Deshmukh was the chief of all the parties in that Pargana system. The Deshmukh did at the Pargana level what the Patil did at the village level. Deshpande was the chief of all the Kulkarnis in Pargana. Deshpande did at the Pargana level what the work Kulkarni did at the village level. These Watandars officers were the link between the people and the government. In case of enemy invasion or drought, these Vatandars represented the grievance of the people to the government. Sometimes these officers misused their powers. They collected more money from the people than was due or did not remit the money so collected to the government in time. On such occasion, the people suffered harassment due to this Vatandars.